Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, I think if you're an OG to the channel, you would remember that there was a time where I would wear my bucket hat a lot of times when I was recording. And I think you may have realized that you've not seen the bucket hat for some time. I've lost it. So if anybody sees my bucket hat, please let me know down in the comments below. I don't think anybody's gonna find it, bro. But hopefully I can find it. I don't know where it is. I feel like it's in my closet, but it's not there, okay? It's just not there. But anyway, guys, it is that time of the year. I think like once or twice a year, I like to take a trip back memory lane and look at my my nice little PowerPoint presentation. I mean, this thing is almost 3 years old now, where I want to talk about every single prize car and all the requirements and what I use to win it, if I won it or not, for the entire year of 2022. So I'm gonna turn off my camera and we're gonna go through a journey of every single tri-series that we had, including challenges and special series in the year of 2022, and I'll give you my verdict and kind of like I'll just tell you what I feel about what the requirements were like this year. I'll tell you straight off the bat right now. I'll turn off my camera, okay? Because we did start off the year 2022 with the Rimac C2, which only now I'm realizing that 2022 the prize car C2, but I think this was called in the Navera when it was given out, so unfortunately that wasn't really intentional, I guess. But anyway, this was given out January 2nd, 2022, so literally just two everywhere, besides the fact that January is the first month. If this was February 2nd, 2022, that would be pretty cool. Requirements were 5 times 1992 to 1993. Did I win it? No. And yeah, I was watching Spider-Man No. This was like 2022 was a long year for me. I don't know, it felt really long for me. Yeah, I mean, this goes all the way back to when I was still in London. Actually, if we went back an entire year, January 9th, 2023, I would still be in London for just another week or something like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I did not win this prize card, but we did start the year with a banger. I would be honest, I think the prize card that we got at the start of the year is better than the prize card that we got at the end of the year, which is the Avija, because this car is still better. It has a way lower 0 to 60. But that prize card, the Rimac C2, had really bad requirements, and I think Christmas collection 2022 was pretty bad as well. So much so that I didn't even get the epic that was given out during this time. But once again, January 11th, 2022 was the first time you could get the legendary from the Christmas collection, and you could either choose between the Skigera, the 177, or the Spiker. And I believe most people went for the 177. I already had the 177 and the Skigera, so the only prize car I kind of had up for grabs was the Spiker. And to be completely honest, there was just zero. There was absolutely zero incentive for me to even go for the Spiker. It was a trash prize car. There was literally no incentive to get it at all. I didn't win it. Obviously, like I said, the entire time I was on holidays in London, I did not win a single prize car. I barely played Top Drives in that time. That being said, though, January 16th, that's when I won the Jaguar XJ220. I left London on the 15th, so one day afterwards we bounced back, I guess. Yes, the MVP was a Mercedes AMG C63. I think I have a winning hand. Yes, it was just estates only. Now, this wasn't a tri-series, I believe. I think this was a challenge, maybe. But yeah, look at that. That's an old photo now, man. The legendary CTSV and the epic Audi RS6 and the epic AMG C63. I mean, all these cars is all topsy-turvy now, the Audi's legendary, the Cadillac is epic, the Mercedes is ultra rare. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But yeah, that was the hand that I used to win it at the time. We got the Jaguar XJ220, and I still have it stock until today. Moving on, next requirement was going to be for the Bentley EXP 100 GT. This was released January 30th, 2022, capping out the month, and the requirements were ×5 2001 to 2004 rear wheel drive performance tires. Did I win it? Yes. The MVP was the Koenigsegg CCR, and this was the hand that I used. I used two of my Max Porsche 911 GT2s, the Dodge Viper SRT10, the Hayabusa, and the Koenigsegg CCR. One thing I will miss, and I think we've not gotten these requirements in a very long time, I miss 2000 requirements. 2000 requirements I found were really fun, and I think a lot of people can probably agree, because 2000 was either like, okay, you can either get cars that you love or cars that maybe you didn't really like but they were still kind of useful, perhaps. I don't know, I feel like the later, and you're gonna see this in the requirements, just everyone watching the video right now, please pay attention to the requirements. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like for the most part, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, the deeper we get into 2022, the worse and more complicated the requirements get. Just for you, so you can remember, I might do a video on this for the entire, prize car history, because this dates all the way back to 2017, but I'm only doing 2022 for this video. Back then we used to get ×5 Mercedes, ×5 Porsche, ×5 2002, or ×5 2002 to 2004, or like this one right here, which I still think is okay, but it gets more and more confusing and complex as we get into 2022. Alright, next prize card came out in February 13th, 2022. It was ×5 Jag, 2+ seaters. Now, once again, I think this was like the 4th or 5th final where Hutch made us bend over for that stupid Jaguar 575 that shows up in every damn tri-series. It pisses me off. But anyway, another event where we had to use that Jag, okay? And as you can see, I've already won it. The owners was a Porsche Macan Turbo. I did not win that, but funnily enough, I actually unpacked this as my last legendary of 2022. And I'm really happy with that, actually, because I really wanted the Macan Turbo, but I wasn't going to open packs on stupid Jags, so they're cool in real life, but when it comes to top drives, they bring no value. But yeah, the Euros rerun, obviously, I couldn't win it again because I already had it. I think I won it back in 2020, the first time it came out. Next prize card, this was a big shot over here, the Peugeot 208 WRX. It was a very big shot at the time because it used up off-road tires, as you can see in this picture, because this is an older picture. I obviously update this list throughout the year, so this was when the car still had off-road tires. Now it has all surface tires. Is not useful anymore in my opinion, because it's just a shittier Pikes Peak Suzuki. But anyway, date awarded February 27, 2022, and this is where it gets really confusing. This was called Continental Selects. At this point, I couldn't even write down just a simple 2005 ×5 anymore. No, it was Bentley and BMW. I think it was it was basically no coupes. It was like saloons, estates, SUVs, 5+ seaters. It was like there were so many things where I just couldn't fit it in this presentation. But at the end of the day, I still felt that okay, it wasn't that bad of a requirement. I would say that BMW kind of saved it, and also because the Bentleys that you could get, I can't remember. I think you could get coupes because the Continental GT is a coupe. I can't remember what the entire. It was just very, very long. It was just like BMW, Bentley. I think it was like performance tires or 4-wheel drive, something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I did win it in the end, and my MVP was the BMW M5. I had to upgrade both my BMW M5s, but only one of them I actually brought up to 2 stars, and that was the car that kind of won me in the event. It was a really tough one. I spent a lot of epic fuse on this. Every legendary that you see over here, I actually upgraded a crap ton. I brought my M5 to 2 stars. I bought the 640i, that crap legendary, to 2 stars. It's fine now though, because now that car is epic, and I got my tokens back, so that's fine. And then I also have another upgrade in the other BMW M5. So yeah, it was a lot, and I had to max out the X3 M40i, and the Bentley Continental was already maxed. This won me the Bugatti Chiron Sport in the past, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was my first big tri-series. And then yeah, as you can see from Pepe over here, yeah, Pepe be gone. The Jaguar Project 8 was back. I've already won this. It was Year of the Tiger. And honestly, I was really happy. This was the best thing the Project 8 has done for me, because of the Project 8, I actually won the Peugeot Quasar, and the Peugeot Quasar is actually a pretty good prize. So yeah, really happy that I got the Peugeot Quasar. The Project 8, it's such a useless car. I honestly forget that it exists most of the time. Next up, we have the Caterham RS Levante, and this was one of those moments where I kind of think back. I'm just like, wow, 2022 was a long ass year for me, because I remember unpacking my second King Donk. And it honestly feels like that was 2-3 years ago, but it wasn't. It was March of last year. It was less than a year ago I pulled my second donk. But for some reason, it feels like I've had my second donk forever. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But it was ×5 donk or Volvo. I'm still okay with this. Like, this was a pretty decent requirement. It was easy. It was simple. And donks are cool. The only difference from Donk and Volvo to the TVR and Morgan, I feel like it's subjective at the end of the day. Like if you like TVR, if you like Morgan, then you probably like that requirement more than the Donk and Volvo. But for me, it's kind of like, oh, the Donk brings a lot of value to the game. TVRs, they don't really bring value to the game. Volvo, not a lot of them bring value to the game, but you know, like the S80 V8 that I used to win the prize car was really useful. The Polestar is really useful. I don't know. It might be a subjective thing, but I would take Donk Volvo times 5 over TVR Morgan times 5. I think that's just mainly because I don't really like Morgan. And Morgan has no good legendaries. TVR and Morgan brings no good legendaries, right? At least Donkavort, you know, at least at the time, because all these Donks got nerfed, but at least at the time, they brought really good legendaries to the table, you know, cards that could help you outside of the final, and I think that's why it stung a little less. But yeah, I did win this and I got the Caterham RS Levante. The next prize car was the Koenigsegg Chimera. I mean, this is Val's, you know, he's the guy that he maxed 2 legendary Lamborghinis to get this, man. March 27th, 2022. Requirements for times 5 Italian, Germany, and Japanese roadsters or German roadsters. Did I win it? Yes, and my MVP was the Mazda MX-5. I think that's one of the coolest things about this final. The fact that everybody had to use a Mazda MX-5. I think that was amazing. That was a really well planned event. I don't know, I find that really funny. I mean, of all cars, it had to be the MX-5. It had to be a Blossom choice. Like, dude, that's amazing. Other cars that I used 2 Aventador as Roadsters, my Huracan Performance, which I maxed the handling, and my Pagani Huayra Roadster, which also has 2 upgrades into it. I think it was 366, still is. Alright, moving on now. Next thing that we're going to talk about, the Renault Sport RS01. I won this prize card too. I think this was a pretty good part in the year where I was just winning a lot of prize cards. I think the next one is going to be Godzilla. I won this as well. Once again, duplicate with the Pagani Zonda F. Bugatti Veyron, which I pulled, I think, in the same week of winning this car. I pulled it from the prelims to the quals, which was recorded, which was really cool. Caterham CSR and the Ford GT. Requirements were times 5 2005, and I didn't win it. Like I said, dude, I like 2000 requirements. I just think that they're fun. I like 2000 cars. I grew up with 2000 cars, so they kind of just mean a lot more to me. But yeah, it was awarded April 10th, 2022. I think next is Godzilla, right? Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, I think the one afterwards is Godzilla. Silver Screen 2 came out next. I did win it. This isn't even a joke. If you remember, if you watched the video, I won the Aerial Atom with 5 Challenger Hellcats. Like I said, this is the ultimate challenge car. You know, it was used in Christmas collection as well, and I think it was in two-tone as well. Yeah, this is a perfect car. April 22nd, 2022, they were giving out the Demon like crazy. But yeah, MVP was Challenger Hellcat, and I won the Aerial Atom because I've already won the Challenger before. This should be Godzilla. Yes, it is. I also won Godzilla, April 23rd, 2022. My MVP was a Charger Juiced, and the requirements were 5 times front engine concept. Still pretty, I don't know, I like the requirements. The requirements were cool. Maybe next time I should rate all the requirements, right? Cadillac 16, Charger Juiced, Aston Martin CC100, Hayabusa, as well as the GTSR concept. So yeah, that was really cool. You know, it's a prize car that I never used, but it was a cool car. I like the Celsonic. The one after, Aventador SVJ, I've already won this car. So it was performance tire. Oh, that was fast. Okay, well, yeah, it was performance tires. Koenigsegg Agera. I already won it. You get the drill. And then there we go. This was a GT series, and no, I did not win this. You know me by now. I do not win GT series, and this is where, yeah, look at how freaking niche that requirement is. Front engine European convertibles. There weren't a lot of cars that you could use. I had 2 Max Epics going into this. I went to the final round and I couldn't beat the final round. I had the Max Vanquish and the Mercedes CLK DTM, and that was about it. All the other European convertibles I had were like Porsches. They were rear engine. So yeah, there weren't a lot for me to use. The legendary selection here was absolute garbage. I don't think a lot of people won this. Fun fact, Banana assassination attempt in 2016. Yes, a banana tried to assassinate me in 2016. More on that maybe in the gameplay video in the future. But this was given out May 20th, 2022. Never won the car. But once again, no regrets. Pretty crap car anyway. Next one is going to be the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. I did win this. Yeah, MVP, the Porsche G2 RS I crave and I don't own. That's true. That is true. Two-tone, I obviously gave out the Porsche GT2 RS. I opened a crap ton of two-tone packs trying to get that GT2. I never got it. I still don't have it. I still want it. Val has 2 of them, and he knows that I want it. Whenever I talk to Val, he always talks about either one of 2 things: the GT2 RS or the Alfa Romeo GTA. I hope I get one of them soon so he can just shut up. But next up is going to be the Aerial Atom 500 V8. Once again, this was two-tone. I already won this because of the last selection of things with the challengers. So I got the owner's prize card, which is a McLaren 570S Spider. And then next up, I think we move on to June, so kind of halfway through the year, June 5th, 2022. It was JPT Subaru, and it was the Porsche 911 GT1 coming back the second time. I really wanted to get this, but I didn't get it. I had 4 maxed epics, and I didn't win this car. And the main thing was this. I knew that this was going to bite me back in the butt somewhere down the line. When JPT came out, every epic, right? Every epic that I got was a crap epic. Every JPT epic Subaru that I got was a crap epic. Every single one. They were all like below RQ70. I had one that was RQ76. Every other epic Subaru I pulled, 66, 65, 67. I've never pulled the 79 epics. I've never pulled the 78 epics. I've never pulled the 77 epics Subarus. No, always the crap ones. So it was fine at the start because, you know, during Apollo Intenza and Mozioni finals, everyone didn't have a lot of Subarus at the time because the update was still very new, so it was a bit more competitive to have a 66 or 67. But now, June 5th, 2022, like a year after the JPT update, I mean, everybody probably had really good Subarus at this point. I still didn't have any until today. I've not pulled the higher end epic Subarus, and ultimately because of that, I lost. Just because this was a final of who had the better epic Subarus. And although I had 4 max epic Subarus, 3 of them were below RQ70. So it is what it is. I was just very unlucky. If I'm gonna be unlucky with a brand, it'd rather be Subaru than Dodge. So you know what? I'll take it. Next up, Impreza 22B. GT series, I think it was. I didn't win it. It was x5 2005 to 2009 5-seaters. Once again, getting more and more complicated. It should have just been x5 2005 to 2009. Adding the 5-seaters in there kind of just destroyed everything. And like I said, is it me or is 2022 just a bunch of crap wrecks? And we're gonna see more and more of that. Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak was 5 times Lancia, Maserati, Pagani rear-wheel drive. This one was alright. I mean, anything. I mean, I'll be honest, man. Anything with rear-wheel drive, anything with 2-seaters, it's probably going to be a pretty good tri-series. Anything with like medium ground clearance or like SUV, gonna be a pretty crappy tri-series, I'll tell you that much. Just mainly because, you know, nobody wants the cars that you need to compete for, and those cars aren't gonna be useful outside of the tri-series as well. So, you know, people gotta, you know, if you're gonna spend your real money on things, you gotta think about these things, you know, like it's an investment. How much value am I gonna get out of, you know, the packs I'm gonna open? And obviously I'm gonna get a lot more value out of a pack that's gonna grant me a Pagani Zonda S and a Huayra Roadster, as opposed to a pack that gets me, you know, some RQ80 BMW convertible legendary, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's just what I'm saying. Yeah, it was a good one. Honestly, probably my favorite prize car, no, Hennessy, second favorite prize car win of 2022, maybe. Maxed it out, lovely car. 2 Monte Carlo turbos, 1 Pagani Huayra Roadster, Pagani Zonda S, and a Maserati Gran Turismo to win it. If you guys see an ultra rare, it's probably because of the RQ limit. I think the RQ limit made it so I couldn't run 5 legendaries, so I had to put in the Maserati Gran Turismo. My MVP was obviously the Pagani Huayra Roadster, won me the second prize car of 2022. Moving on, the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, I've already won this car, so I got the owner's prize car, which is the Koenigsegg CCXR, nothing too special. And then these were the other cars that you could win, like the Vettel and the GTR, nothing too special about that. It was famous tracks. Moving on, CTR3 Club Sport, already won this car. Once again, look at those requirements, 88 to 91. You can only use coupes and convertibles. What the hell? You should have just left it at 88 to 91 and left it at that, but you didn't. Or maybe even expand the years a little bit more, but you know, whatever. Did I win it? I already have. The owners was the Koenigsegg CCXR, and I did not win this one. Was this the same as the last one? I might not be, I can't remember, but I remember I didn't win this one anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, moving on now. Subaru Impreza Group A was given out July 29, 2022. Last prize car of the month, I believe. Requirements were x5 US concepts. I did win. MVP was not was not Hollywood. I just didn't change changed the slides on that, my bad. Next up is the Subaru Impreza WRX S202, awarded August 11th, 2022. It was 5 times Summer Party. I totally forgot what the hell were the requirements for this. They just called it Summer Party. That's the thing of 2022. You know, the requirements, they just get these funny names now, and it's just a bunch of cars that Hutch seems to kind of just make sense to each other. At some point, it's kind of fun. At other points, it's kind of just like, okay, it's kind of quirky, I guess. I didn't win it in the end, but like I said, man, the recs are just getting more and more convoluted. All right, next prize car, we have the introduction of PL15, my favorite update of the year, and one of my favorite updates in the game. August 28, 2022 was when this car was awarded obscure WE brands. That is true. It was things like AC, Bristol, Rezvani. You know what's really freaking sad? This is considered technically an AC final, and we're getting another AC final for this Lancia that's coming up. We've had 2 AC finals in a couple of months. What the bloody hell? When was the last time we had a Dodge final? When was the last time we had a Porsche final? When was the last time we had well, we had a Peugeot final. You'll see one coming up pretty soon, so I won't say Peugeot, but you know what I mean, man. AC twice. Nobody even likes AC, bro. Come on. But anyway, my MVP was a Bristol Fighter, a really good car. Rezvanis were really strong as well, but the Bristol Fighter was really good. And the Granada Scorpio was really cool because, you know, there were like twisty roads, and that was the only one with 4-wheel drive set of tires. And like the Rezvanis had no traction control or ABS, and the ACs didn't have them either. So, you know, the Granada was like a bit of a beast. And then next up, I did win that. And then next up, okay, yeah, this actually is the best prize car. Yeah, this is the best prize car of 2022. I think this is the best release of 2022. You know, like generally speaking, with no bias, I think this was the best prize car of 2022. September 11th, 2022. It was, oh yeah, the requirements for this, the best. In my opinion, let me know down in the comments below. I think that this was the best Tri-Series that we've had in years. The best Tri-Series that we've had in 2022. Hear me out. The pack was really good. You know, it was worth it. People were happy to open it, and they didn't regret after they opened it. They were happy with what they got for the most part. If you got an epic or above, you were most likely happy with the pool that you got, right? It was a really good pack. On top of that, you were competing for a really good car, if not the best car given out in the entire year of 2022. So at the end of the day, it was a win-win situation. Hutch earned a lot of money probably because people were opening packs, but people also wanted to open packs because people felt that, you know, they were getting their money's worth. They were competing for a car that was really good with cars that were also really good. Cars that were super beneficial to help them in the future of the game, in multiplayer, in clubs especially. So I thought that this was the best Tri-Series of 2022. I think a lot of people can agree. I know for a fact a lot of people open these packs. It doesn't need a rocket science to tell you that this pack was amazing. It just was. Yeah, 5 times World Expo German rear-wheel drive. This is a Tri-Series done right, and obviously I won it too. The MVP was obviously my maxed out Porsche 911 GT2 Müller. I unpacked the RSR from my packs. I unpacked the Speedster from my packs. This was just a good Tri-Series, and I think this was the second to last good Tri-Series we had of the entire year. All right, moving on now. Next one is the Nissan GTI. Now this is the sorry, I did not change this. WE Roadster? Oh no, it was. Oh, okay, I thought for some reason I thought that the Tri-Series Rex for this was the Peugeot Nissan, but I think that's for the next prize car. So September 25th, 2022, requirements 5 times World Expo Roadster. I also won this. MVP was not Müller, I just didn't change it. The MVP was actually the Ultima Can-Am. I used 2 Zeniths, 1 Porsche 911 Speedster, Ultima Can-Am, and the Porsche 911 Turbo. I got tier 1 in this without using a medium ground clearance car. I remember in this final, you could use a medium ground clearance car, but I just didn't need to. My hand was just that good, bro. All right, next up, yes, this was the Peugeot one, right? Yeah, Peugeot Nissan 2005. This one was still like kinda acceptable. I would have just preferred if it was just times 5 2000, or maybe if they put more brands, like Nissan and Peugeot was a bit niche. I did win this though. MVP once again. I'm starting to tell that I just did not bother to change the MVP, did I? You know what? Yeah, we'll just give it to Müller. Just give it to Müller for all. Müller was so good. He's MVP for the next couple of prize cars. But yeah, October 9, 2022 was when it was given out. Nissan GTR R35, the Zenavi I used, the Peugeot, the Cedric, as well as the Nissan Extra because there was an off-road track set. Okay, moving on now. Next prize car, Quattro. Is Müller gonna be? No, owners. Okay, there you go. Owners, random Murcielago. I actually sold it. No, I fused it. I fused the Murcielago away, so that's gone. These are the prize cards that we could get. It was the Quattro, the Lancer, and the Ford GT40. I've already won the Lancer and the Ford, so I got the Audi. It was 5 times old guard. I did win that. That was a pretty cool one. Next one, CCGT. This one I did not win, but oh, sorry. I want to go back and talk about this for a little bit. This one I did not win, but fun fact, Minecraft won at Towers of the game. But I thought that the requirements were okay. Some people said it was really bad because, you know, there were only like 2 epics and 1 legend or 2 legends that you could get, which was true. But like the 2 epics and 3 legends, or the 3 epics and 2 legends that you could get from this pack were actually good. So I have no objections to it whatsoever. They were good cars, so I don't mind. Next up, Audi RS3 LMS. This was also very interesting requirements. Medium or high ground clearance, coupe only, German, UK. Very interesting requirements. November 3rd, 2022. Not a fan of it. But yeah, fun fact, Minecraft also won at Tarts to the game. But I did win the car though, which was pretty cool. Next up is going to be the Rezvani. I did not win this. This pissed me the hell off. Okay. Bentley x5, Jag, Oldsmobile, petrol 5-seater. This is the 3rd time we've had a Bentley final. That's like the 6th time where that stupid 575 was useful. I just hated it. Like, come on, Hutch, have some diversity. Stop using the same bloody cars over and over. Next up, 1998 to 2000, US, German, Japan. This one wasn't too, it was a complex requirement, but I don't think it was too bad. I can't even remember what were the cars that you needed to win this anymore. I think it was like one of the cars was the GT1 race car, but I can't remember the rest. I don't even think there were any American cars that you could use in this, because I don't remember using an American legendary in this. Maybe only the DNX. No, I think the DNX was like 2002. But yeah, given out November 15, 2022, and I did not win it. Yeah, at this point I just did not bother to change the fun fact anymore. Next up, Peugeot 205 T16 Pikes Peak. MVP, Lamborghini Urama. Let's get it, man. December 2nd, 2022 was when it was given out. And yeah, for a fact, dude, if you didn't have the Lamborghini Urama, like, there was no way you were getting through those easier lower rounds, dude. It was just all dregs, all rare. Like, that car was amazing, dude. I want every car here. Pikes Peak's a really good prize. Next up is going to be the Hennessy, the last prize car that I win of 2022, I believe. December 4th, 2022. Requirements were 5 times 2-seater Amalfi Coast. And this one was a good one. This was a good tri-series. Like I said, dude, you put 2-seater, you put rear-wheel drive, probably going to be a good requirement. Okay, probably gonna be a good requirement. But yes, did I win it? Yes. Once again, this was the hand that I had the tricolor, which I almost maxed. Is one upgrade away from being fully maxed out. Gonna max out Pandion, maxed out Alfa Romeo Isima. The Hyena was really good for the rain track sets, and the 4C was kind of the car that lost everywhere for me. But yeah, my MVP was, you know, Rigatoni. And then the last one, I think there are 2 more. Bristol Fighter. I actually wanted to win this prize car. I am a fan of the Bristol Fighter. Sorry, I didn't even bother to change the MVP over here. But the requirements were PL15 to 16 Audis, and you know how I feel about Audis. Just know. And then I think this is the last prize car of the year, the Zenith E10R, given out December 18th, 2022. It was 5 times Interstellar. Did I win it? Yes. Don't even worry about the MVP. I just didn't bother to change that anymore, and that was going to be it. So those were all my legendary winnings of 2022, and I just have to say, I don't know why, but it just feels like I don't like the requirements this year were just especially bad. We had Bentleys, we had TVRs, Morgans. Okay, TVR and the Morgan one, that kind of counts as 2023 because that car was given out January 1st, 2023. So maybe we don't really count that, okay? But like, I don't know, man. Audis and Bentleys, it just wasn't really very fun. But these were the ones that I won. I would say that the prize cards that I loved the most this year, the ones that I used the most this year, the Bentley EXP 100 GT, the Peugeot 208 T16, and the Hennessy Venom. So these 3 are the ones that I use the most. If I could make a tier list out of all the cars of, oh, and the Escudo. So like the top tier would be the Bentley, the Escudo, the Peugeot, and the Hennessy in terms of cars I use the most. And then like the second tier would probably go to like the Peugeot 208, the Nissan GTR GT500, and the Audi Quattro, and the Impreza, and the Peugeot 205. One thing I'm really happy about 2022 was that I won all the off-road tire prize cars. That's what I wanted. Off-road tire prize cars, and I got them. But comparing it to, 2021, I actually won more prize cards in 2021. 2021, I won, I think, 2020, we talk about 2020 first, I guess. 2020, as you can see over here, I won 14. And yeah, once again, some pretty good prize cards here, like the Huracan, the Chiron Sport, which was really good at the time, but now it's kind of useless. The Pagani Huayra, the Vulcan, obviously Valky, the Viper GTSR, and the Pagani. Yeah, the Pagani is on the Revolution is insane. I want to win the Imola and all the other prize cards, the Pagani prize cards that came in at Amalfi Coast. Those I genuinely want. 2021 was my best. I won 20 prize cards in this year, as you can see. And some of the best ones were going to be, I would say, the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, the P1 GTR, the FAP 905B, Sentimental Reasons, the Viper SRT10, and the Intenza Emozione. And of course, how could I miss the best one of all, the Alfa Romeo prize car 164 Pro car. And then last but not least, 17 from this year, as you've already seen. Escudo is the one that I'm most proud of. And then followed by the Hennessy, the T16, all very good cars as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it. That is the legendary journey of 2022. I'm going to turn my webcam again. So let me know what you guys felt about it. How many prize cards did you win in 2022? And what prize cards do you wish to win in the year of 2023? But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back.